This is absolutely wild as we've seen the trade rumors speculating around this Phoenix Suns team been heating up over the last couple of days, but we got some concrete news surrounding around one of those key people the Suns are interested in, Jimmy Butler. As he had some words coming out about some teams that he was particularly interested in and is now not. And this has future implications for the Suns as they are the only team to see being as aggressive and willing to pursue for Jimmy Butler as much as Jimmy Butler is for them. So, what does this mean for the Phoenix Suns, and what does this ultimately lead to for a Jimmy Butler trade? We're going to be breaking down all of that and more on this episode of the Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. And like I said, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. Showing your love and support on the channel recently has been really appreciated over the last couple of days. But like I have said, if you guys are part of the 80% of the viewers who are watching our videos who are not just subscribed yet, and you want to make sure to stay up to date on everything revolving around this Phoenix Suns team, trade updates, post-game knowledge, everything revolving around this squad, this is the place for you. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and to let us know in the comment section what you think down below on this Jimmy Butler news. Without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand and make sure to grab a snack. Like I said in the introduction, this is absolutely wild for the Phoenix Suns as we have heard the trade rumors surrounding around Jimmy Butler for weeks now, but things are really intensively starting to heat up over the last 24 hours as we received a lot of recent reports revolving around the Suns. Around the superstar the Suns are in pursuit of. And if we want to look at this, we can see from Chris Haynes today that Jimmy Butler informed agent and a few teams around him that he was not interested in. And Chris Haynes broke this down this afternoon, stating that the Grizzlies, one of those dark horse teams that I potentially mentioned that could have the favorable package for Jimmy Butler, Jimmy is not interested in going to. And along that as well, we have from Evan Sidery that there's a ton of momentum behind the Suns and Jimmy Butler having significant mutual interest. Butler's ideal outcome ahead of the trade deadline would be end up winding up in Phoenix, and the Suns made it clear that they're ready to pay exactly what he desires for a new contract. And for Jimmy Butler, that's ultimately what he wants. The whole disagreement with the Miami Heat. Yes, there's probably some bad blood between him and Pat Riley. Yes, there were some things said over the playoffs where Jimmy was making fun of the Celtics when he was not playing. But ultimately, I do think the real rut in all of this was that Jimmy Butler wants to get paid. He's brought this Miami Heat team to two NBA finals with rosters that they did not particularly build around him to be finals contenders, and he put all his work and effort to bring those teams with lower tier players or players that maybe had worked up through the Miami system but weren't valuable names to those playoffs and finals, and was never rewarded with bringing any star talent around him. So for a player wanting to continue and compete with the Miami Heat and be rewarded for that, he deserves that payday. Well, the Heat are not willing to give a 35, almost 36-year-old superstar a massive contract and don't want to hinder their future while doing so. So therefore, there's been a little bit of disruptions, but as we all know, the Suns and Matt Ishbia want to compete. They want to contend, and Matt Ishbia has all the money in the world, and he's willing to shell it all to make sure the Suns get a championship. So he would be 100% inclined to give Jimmy Butler that extension and keep pursuit of this Suns championship hope alive with the new core of Butler, Durant, and Booker. But as we all know, Bradley Beal stands in the way as he makes $50 million, and the Miami Heat do not want him. But with more implications of Beal getting sent to the bench in the recent Suns game, and even though he did stand out and look solid in that role, Suns are still expected to want to trade Bradley Beal and are aggressive in trading Bradley Beal, as we broke down in our previous video that we released just a couple hours ago. But like I mentioned, and furthermore on this Bradley Beal news, there's a lots more rumblings as well, as Kevin O'Connor broke down some more news as he heard that the Bucks have also been informed to not trade for Jimmy Butler as well, as they were a team that had been seeing interest over the last 24 to 48 hours. So with that being reported and Crispy Haynes reporting that the Grizzlies were also told no, there's now two playoff teams that Butler could be refusing, which ultimately leads, does Pat Riley give Jimmy what he wants and bring him to Phoenix? Well, according to Chris Mannix, reported on the pod today that executives believed across the NBA that involved say that Butler's been making it pretty obvious that he has one desired destination, and that destination is Phoenix. And that is a lot to news to break down and kind of assume. So like I said, the news on the front with Jimmy Butler is pretty noted that Jimmy would like to compete, would like to get a payday, and would like to be on a championship contending team. And it ultimately feels like those numbers in teams that he has listed potentially wanting to play anywhere have dwindled and gone down. And teams like the Grizzlies, the Bucks are not interested. Teams like the Rockets and Mavericks, teams that Jimmy Butler was interested in previously, do not want to give up the capital to acquire Butler, which ultimately leaves the Heat in a little bit of a stalemate. Kind of wondering, what are they going to do, and how are they going to get rid of a contract in Butler? Does Pat Riley play the bad man, hold on to Butler's contract, and ultimately let him walk in free agency to brew the frustration? That could be possibly the case. But if they want to get a happy ending for all of this, finding Butler a destination like the Suns that he wants to go to, and finding a third team could be the case for the Suns and the Heat to kind of get a mess to all of this solving. And like I said, and like we mentioned earlier with this as well, with all this stuff, it is, oh, hit the wrong button there. It is kind of crazy that the Suns are trying to pursue this. And I saw a tweet as well while editing. I thought I had it in here, but I did not, I guess, which also let us know that the Heat want, obviously, to get rid of Jimmy Butler. The Suns want Jimmy Butler. The ultimate thing is finding that third team for Bradley Beal. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think Butler is going to force his way to Phoenix? Like I said, Matt, in the previous videos, Matt Ishbia has been very aggressive and wants this team to be competing. For a team sitting in not even the play-in and having one of their players making $50 million playing off the bench, that is a key indication that changes are needed to be made. And Mike Budenholzer made that change for the success of the Suns in the moment right now. But truly, I don't think this is the long-term solution for Phoenix in them getting to the greener pasture, and finding a trade for Beal is that move. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But like I said, what do the Suns do, and how do they get this done? Because ultimately, if they want to get a deal for Bradley Beal, they're going to have to move some draft capital with Bradley Beal to get him to go to an extended team. And if we want to see these reports, courtesy of Evan Sidery, we can see that after chatting with a few executives, he feels the price point to offload Bradley Beal's contract will be 2 first-round picks. Now, Phoenix currently only has one of those picks, which is their 2031 pick, which they can trade, but they could offload some swaps, or could possibly find a trade candidate to move off of to get an extra asset, and one of those assets could be Grayson Allen. Now, Allen's been a valuable shooter for this Suns team and was last season, more impactful last year with the Suns needing his three-point shooting, with having Booker and Beal being those primary facilitators and playmakers in this offense, playing that point guard role. But with this season, him transitioning to the bench, him dealing with some injuries, and with the Suns having so many guards that similarly play that offensive role, even with Booker and Beal, Grayson Allen isn't necessarily needed. And if the Suns are able to move off of Grayson Allen's contract to get needed draft capital, along with some low-end contract to take back to then facilitate a Jimmy Butler deal, I am sure Matt Ishbia will figure out a way to do that. Now, regardless if that's Grayson Allen, regardless if that's Josh Okogie, I don't see them moving a player in Royce O'Neal. He's been injured. He's been one of their key players. I don't see them moving the rookies in Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodaro. But two key names to keep an eye out on are Josh Okogie and Grayson Allen, to possibly be moved for additional draft capital to then get this Jimmy Butler deal done. And we might have to see one of those players be moved before that can get done. I think Matt Ishbia is trying to figure out the framework, try to figure out where Bradley Beal will want to go as a third team, and what third team is going to take Bradley Beal on that he wants to go to then figure out what package he ultimately needs to send to get it done. Like I said, Ishbia has been determined. He did this for Kevin Durant. He has done this for Bradley Beal, and now he's going to try to work the magic to get a deal done to bring in Jimmy Butler. And I would not put it past him, as the Suns seem like the only team in aggression and the only team actively pursuing Butler at this moment that Butler wants to be a part of. So like I said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, what you guys ultimately think, because I think this could be the short-term solution for the Suns, be a big bump for their offense and defensive rating, bringing in a guy like Jimmy Butler, one of those guys that's a leader, going to bring a voice. Yes, he's a little bit older than Bradley Beal. Yes, you're going to have to sign him to an extension, but if you want to ensure that you keep Durant and Booker in this championship push alive, you need to get another star in this rotation, or some rotational pieces in this rotation to replace Bradley Beal. You're not going to get key rotational pieces, so go out and get that other star, find that temporary fix, and then in the offseason, go out and make some necessary moves around the edges once again to build this core around these three. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, how you guys ultimately feel about this Phoenix Suns team. And like I said, if you want to stay up to date on everything revolving around this team, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, as we'll have all the content coming out for you. This is coming out before the Suns tip-off versus the Hornets. We had another video earlier going over Bradley Beal stuff coming out before the Hornets, and we'll have a post-game video breaking down that Hornets game as well coming out for you guys tonight. Well, without further ado, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, everyone.